Hi guys, and welcome back to the Butterfly Farmer. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about butterfly gardening. Now that's one of the questions I'm asked most as a butterfly farmer, is what plants, what can you grow that will help create a great butterfly habitat? So let's go into it, let's see what we can find out. So I'm going to share with you what I look for in flowers when I'm setting up a new butterfly house or a butterfly exhibit. First thing is I'm looking for flowers with a long blooming season, because if you have a flower that only blooms for a week or 2 weeks, it's not going to provide a great butterfly habitat over the entire summer. Now, second thing I'm looking for is high nectar content. Now, not all flowers have as high nectar content as others. A good example of that are these daylilies. Daylilies are big, they're beautiful. To us, they would look great, but they've actually been selectively bred for size and color for us humans, and not so much for nectar content for butterflies. And you'll rarely see a butterfly at a daylily, for an example. Now, third thing I'm looking for is a composite flower. That is basically a larger flower made up of smaller florets. This is basically providing butterflies with more option. If you think about a single flower, even if it looks bigger, looks prettier, it probably only has about the same nectar as each one of these little florets. It's kind of like, think of it as like a slushie. Whatever size cup there is, if there's the same amount of nectar in each cup, it doesn't matter how big and pretty your cup is, you'd rather have a tray of, say, a dozen small cups. So that is the third thing I'm looking for. And to share with you a few of my favorite plants, first, and this is the gold standard of butterfly flowers, is the butterfly bush right here. And these guys are amazing. Here in the southeast, they usually start blooming around the end of May, and they will bloom for the rest of the season. Second thing, they've got the high nectar content butterflies are looking for, and they are an amazing composite flower. They've got all three of the criteria I look for. Another good one is the lantana. Once again, it's got the composite flowers, good blooming season, and also good nectar content. Now, some of the others I use are pentas, dianthus, phlox. Especially in the spring, the dianthus and phlox are good choices because they have an earlier blooming season. Now, not all adult butterflies eat flowers. The brushfoot family actually eat fermented fruit. I've got a tray of fermented fruit that I would use here. Nothing super scientific about this. You can basically just take any kind of fruit. I've noticed here in North America, they kind of like what's more common here. Apples, pears, even peaches, sometimes watermelon, just whatever you might have, whatever kinds of fruit. Kind of chop them up, put them in a pan, or even just throw them under a tree. Let it ferment under there, and that provides a great habitat for the brushfoot families that are looking for that more natural replacement of fermented fruit or natural sap flows from trees. That's going to cover your species like red spotted purples, question marks, commas, red admirals, maybe some buckeyes, things like that. All right, so now we're moving on to the second part of the equation, which is food for the caterpillar of the butterfly. Now, what you're looking for is a place for the adult butterflies to lay eggs and for the caterpillars to grow. Now, unfortunately, caterpillars are much pickier than the adult butterflies. Most species of caterpillars are looking for a specific host plant, what they call a host plant, which is basically the plant that caterpillar will eat. Now, unfortunately, there are only a few species that share the same host plant. So you're pretty much having to grow a different type of plant for each specific butterfly. Now, if we walk down here, I'll give you an example of the kind of plants that I grow and what I do in the butterfly house. This first one here is a wild cherry, and that is grown for the cecropia moth and for the tiger swallowtail. We'll come down here a little bit further. This here is maypop, or also known as Passiflora incarnata. A little bit further down here, we have a willow tree, which is grown for the mourning cloak. Over here we have false nettle, which is a host plant for the red admiral. Here is a hackberry tree, which is also a host plant for the question mark butterfly. As we go through here, down this line, you can see Brussels sprouts and broccoli, and then maybe some cabbage in there as well. Those are all host plants for both the great southern white and for the common cabbage white. Over here we have a sassafras tree, and that's a host plant for the spice bush swallowtail. And down this line is pipevine for the pipevine swallowtail. At the very end here is pawpaw for the zebra swallowtail. So that kind of gives you an example of the types of plants I'm growing in here to provide butterfly habitat in a butterfly house. Now, something I always recommend to people is check what's going on in your area. You know, there's no need to grow a host plant for a butterfly if it's not native to your area. There's also no need to grow a host plant if you already have that host plant growing in the wild near you. A good place to start is milkweed for the monarch butterfly, and also dill or parsley for the black swallowtail. Both of those are pretty readily found across the entire United States, so a good place to start. After that, you might want to do some research, pick out a species of butterfly you're wanting to grow, and see if you have that host plant locally. If not, provide that habitat for your backyard butterfly garden. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've answered a lot of questions. If you have any other questions, hey, leave them in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer any questions I can. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hey, subscribe. We'd love to have you. So long. Have a great day. If you've enjoyed this episode of The Butterfly Farmer, make sure and subscribe to our channel so you can join us in the future as we explore the amazing world of nature all around us. Thanks for watching. So long.